what it's going to take for more unity is the ability to question oneself, to question your belief systems, to question what you've been told, being a left-wing person, being a right-wing person, being a blue person, being a red person, to deeply question the fabric of our beliefs and transform them, transcend them, and change them. Now, that is not what we're normally taught as the way of the evolution of the human process. We get very attached to what we have been as opposed to be more interested in who we want to become, right? So we need to look at how these structures of left and right wings, blue and yellow wings, and all of that have created, what have they created in terms of harmony, in terms of flow of trust, building better communications. And if it's not creating the results that we want, then we need to be questioning on a very deep and fundamental level what would need to change inside of this position in order to be able to move forward and bring a higher level of communication, emotional intelligence, and what I call unity to the table. Welcome to another Truth Telling Thursday, where I am excited. I'm so thrilled to spend this time with you talking about one of my favorite topics in all of the world, which is unity. Unity is about people coming together, people uniting, people feeling that they can vibe together, that they can grow and learn together. And in this day and age, there's a lot of separation. There's a lot of fragmentation. There's a lot of ideas that aren't bringing us together, but actually causing us to be the opposite of what unity would be, right? And I believe that some of the political structures that we have in place, like left wing, right wing, red side, blue side, all of these things that, yes, we are diverse as humans. And so we have different opinions about this, that, and the other. But unity is where we need to find the common ground. And I believe that when we can find the common ground, we can start having a more deep and meaningful conversation about what it means to be human and what it's going to take for the human race to take its peace game, love game to the next level. All of us are contributing to what's happening into the world on this topic. Even within our own systems, your family, your neighborhood, you are creating to either a sense of unity or a sense of fragmentation, separation, and the deconstruction of the human race coming together, uniting for the cause of bringing more light in the world, more love in the world, and more joy. So I do feel that it is a personal invitation. I do feel it is up to every single human being to start to take ownership of how you operate inside of the world when it comes to the topic of unity. We need more leaders. We need more people saying, stop. Let's just stop and breathe here. Okay, let us look beyond what separates us, but look into what brings us together, right? I think everybody wants the same thing. We're all looking for acceptance. We want to be seen, and we want to be heard. But what I do believe as well, what it's going to take for more unity is the ability to question oneself, to question your belief systems, to question what you've been told, being a left-wing person, being a right-wing person, being a blue person, being a red person, to deeply question the fabric of our beliefs and transform them, transcend them, and change them. Now, that is not what we're normally taught as the way of the evolution of the human process. We get very attached to what we have been as opposed to be more interested in who we want to become, right? So we need to look at how these structures of left and right wings, blue and yellow wings, and all of that have created, what have they created in terms of harmony, in terms of flow of trust, building better communications. And if it's not creating the results that we want, then we need to be questioning on a very deep and fundamental level what would need to change inside of this position in order to be able to move forward and bring a higher level of communication, emotional intelligence, and what I call unity to the table. So if you're listening to this right now, it's very easy to put the responsibility of this unity game onto politicians, onto people in higher places that you want to be better role models and so forth. But I really want to speak to you, the person that's listening to this video, and start thinking about how inside of your own family systems, inside of your own communities, inside of your own work situations, are you the uniter? And what would it take? What would it take to be more of a uniter? Someone who brings people together. I think the main question is to be willing to transform yourself. Yes, to be the person that says, I used to think like this, but I realized that it doesn't serve me anymore. A couple of days ago, we had a beautiful 3-day event. It's our Own Your Superstar 3-day training, where we bring people from all over the world together. Different backgrounds, different mindsets, different education levels, but everybody is there for the same reason, which is to find out more about who they are and what they really want out of life, to do the personal growth work. I think people are looking for a new type of spiritual growth and development, right? Traditionally in the past, spiritual growth was all put down to which religion you're from, right? Whether you are Muslim or whether you're Catholic, whether you're Jewish, whether you're coming from Hinduism and so forth. And I believe that as we move forward and we look to unite people more, we will need to create a new type of spirituality that we can all agree on, right? Spirituality is the essence of the concept of this body is a container for the spirit, for the soul. Yeah, this body is a container for something else greater than just the simplicity of this body. So think about this. What if you're on a journey and you come into this world with nothing, you live in this body for however long you live in this body, and then you leave this body, and that something which is the true essence, call it soul, energy, being part of you, continues its journey, right? And so I believe that we all share that common thread, that there is something beyond the story of the body, right? The body is simply an outer layer for something else. When we start to investigate what that something else, and this is where religion has come into play, right? To try to answer the mystery of the question, who am I, where do we come from, and where we're going to, right? And I believe that the unity that we're looking for that's going to unite the world is when we can leave behind some of the old traditions and co-create together new traditions, new rituals, new understandings of our spiritual essence that we are going to be able to evolve, so we're not standing on opposite sides of the pole with different ideas of what we all need to be thriving, right? What we all need. When we can let go of the past, because I do believe that the past is full of ideas that no longer serve us. We need to be evolving as humans. We need to be growing. We need to be progressing. So ideas that are 1,000 years old, 10 billion years old, 100 years old, 50 years old, do not apply to the modern age where boundaries and borders are dissolving all the time. And going back to my 3-day event, where there are people from born in London, people born in Mexico, people born in Switzerland, Italy, France, all coming together, looking for unity, looking for a way to understand our humanity that's bonding and connecting rather than fragmented and separated. Yes, we all want to be seen and we all want to be heard. We need peace in the world. We need to be able to communicate in a way that we don't need weapons of mass destruction. We don't need to take up arms against other humans in order to get our opinions heard. But for that to happen, something very fundamental in the core essence of what we have built as structures of belief systems of how we operate would need to be questioned. There has never been a better time than now, with all the information that we have, free information, to start exploring your belief systems, to start exploring your cultures, your religions, your background, and start to feel, to be a free thinker, to start to think outside of the paradigm that you have been educated in, right? Why would you want to do this? Open your eyes, look at the world, look what we've created. We still have people dying of hunger, people dying because of lack of warmth and electricity and basic human needs, right? We have a growing part of the community that is thriving more and more and more comfort and money, while there is still a very big difference and other people that are in worse and suffering situations, right? So it's gonna take something radical to unite us as humans and bring us forward. We're going to need to be willing to let go of the past and embrace in the present moment new ideas that maybe feel radical, right? Maybe feel like, oh, if I let go of this, then who do I belong to? What do I belong to? What is then my new format of how I see myself? Because you guys need to understand that conditioning that we have is built in our genetic frequency, right? We've believed certain things and we've been doing things a certain way for so long that it actually creates a genetic imprint. So in order for us to rewrite that, which we're able to do even literally, right? We can play with the DNA. You can agree or disagree with whether that's the right thing to do, but we've smartened up that much that we can even tamper and mess with ourselves on a DNA level. So here's what I think. Start messing around with your limiting beliefs. Start messing around and shaking things up inside of your own system to understand if you're creating more unity inside of the world or you're creating more separation and fragmentation. Take ownership even in your own essence. If you're creating more unity and harmony in between me, myself, and I, right? Or if you're creating more fragmentation, separation, and a feeling of lack of unity. So it starts with inner unity. And then from there, when you get grounded, when you get centered, when you find your inner guidance, that place of unconditional love for all humans, regardless of wherever they may be on their journey. And then you start to bring that essence of light and love into how you observe humanity and the world. And we can start operating with a much more compassionate understanding of what's going to need to happen for us to move forward. Everybody is going to need to cut the crap, as I call it, and question everything, and start rewriting together, co-creating a new order, a new world, ideas of how we can co-create, so that we don't need war, we don't need guns, we don't need killing as a way to succeed, right? That we can communicate from a very delicate, from a very sensitive, from a very kind and loving place, from human to human, what is needed for that forward motion, for that unity, for that progression of the human race. Please share this video. We need to be sending messages like this to as many people in the world as possible. Is it great to have values and stand for something? Absolutely. But a lot of us have values and stand for things that that the society has brought us into. We haven't made a conscious choice for those things. And what do I mean by that? As a young child, you brought into, let's say in my case, I'm brought into a family unit that is Roman Catholic, right? Brought up in apartheid as a concept, this is how humans treat each other. We segregate and separate each other. We have toilets for white people and toilets for black people, and black people can't go to this school and can't have this job, but white people can go here and there. So we have all these constructs, right? And you're born into it, and that creates your way of thinking and operating. And I've changed my operating systems. I've changed my belief systems because I've worked on myself. I've done some spiritual work on myself that doesn't involve Christianity, that doesn't involve any type of religion. I've done some work on myself that allows me to think outside of what I've been taught by my society, as this is the rules of engagement. And because I was able to break down those walls, because I was able to see past those limiting beliefs, I was able to start creating so much more unity, so much more joy, love, and great things in my life. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm so passionate about spreading this message, because I think if I can do it, anybody can do it. But we need to understand what's going on. We need to understand what it's going to take. Personal, individual transformation. There is no other way. We need leaders like you. If you've got as far as this video, if you're still listening to this video, it's people like you that are going to take the human race to the next level by changing your game, raising your game, and being an example to what the world needs. The world needs your light, the world needs your brilliance, and the world needs your love and happiness, right? Joy, inner joy that comes from inside of you, because you've done the work to understand who you are. You felt and connected to the power of your soul, your spirit, your light, your inner light. And now you want to, share with as many people as possible. So go ahead and keep doing you, keep showing up for the transformation, and keep sharing this message. My name is Mahima, the founder of the Mahima Mindset. Love you all and appreciate you being here in this beautiful conversation with me. Keep uniting the world, keep bringing more joy into the world. So much love. Bye-bye.